We're here at the start of Naxxramas. I'm on my Backstab rogue, and normally in this group we play our Mutilate rogue, but the Mutilate rogue was busy soloing Razuvious this week, so I switched the rogues around, playing Backstab today with King's Fall, 2-piece Bloodfang, 6-piece Bone Scythe. We got the Shadow Mastery Talisman, the 3-piece Veiled Shadow set. Oh my god, this Venom Stalker just poisoned me. I hope I don't die to that. Okay, I'm not dead. Right, we got the Grave Diggies over here. We got the Renatakis, the Mark of the Champion. Pretty good stuff. Dark Rider's Spine. The items we're going after in the raid today, we're going after Slayer's Crest from Sapphiron. We're going after, trying to think, Desecrated Ring from Kel'Thuzad. We're going to turn that into a tanking ring to try to build, like, the ultimate Scarlet Stratholme farming set. So we can have 4-piece tank set of Bone Scythe and 4-piece tank set of Death Dealers at the same time. And then we'll be really strong. We'll be able to turbo farm a whole bunch of Righteous Orbs to prepare for Phase 8. You definitely don't need that gear to farm Stratholme, but we just want to have, like, the best set possible so I can farm it really efficiently. Right, so that's what the ring is for, and we're going for the shoulder token as well. Which will turn into the tank set, for pretty much the same purpose. We could use a helm or chest token, and move our Bloodfang pieces to other slots. That would be good, but I'm not burning my soft reserve picks on those things. We'll just main spec roll on them and see if we get them or not. We do have improved exposed armor in this build. We're playing Assassination Backstab. So we're going to put Occult Poison on the main hand, Sebaceous Poison on the offhand, and we're going to run that through the whole raid, supplying improved exposed armor for everyone. And because we're the improved exposed armor guy, we're going to run Poison Knife instead of Shadow Step. Shadow Step is pretty nice for mobility, but if the group is depending on us for the armor debuff, we want to have the ability to press Poison Knife and deliberately apply the armor debuff when we want to, like, especially, like, right on pull as we're walking up to the enemies is very good to do. But Backstab Rogue is pretty fun. I really enjoy playing this character. We get really big crits with the ambushes. I hit a 43,000 damage ambush last week on Grobbulus. Oh, it was crazy. Really like the big numbers. That's pretty much what this build is all about. Big, flashy numbers on the screen, and, you know, the way it works out, it's actually just, like, competitive in overall damage output, too. You know, some builds can do, like, really big, flashy damage numbers, but, like, overall, they're not doing very much DPS. Not the case with Backstab. Backstab's plenty competitive and pretty strong to play on Rogue. Right, anyway, so we're clearing all the trash on difficulty 0 up to the first boss of each wing. And then we'll crank it up to difficulty level 3 to clear out the rest of the raid. That's, like, pretty much it's the most loot for the least effort. If you go up to difficulty 4, pretty much the only change you have is, like, you get a mount from Kel'Thuzad and you get an additional Atiesh Splinter off of each boss. So there's not a whole lot of loot incentive to go up to difficulty 4 compared to 3. So I think 3 is a pretty cozy difficulty to go for groups. You know, if you've got everyone with 8 pieces of Sanctified and a rank 7 Seal of the Dawn, then difficulty 3 shouldn't be that hard. If anyone... to the YouTube audience that'll be watching this, you can skip ahead to any boss you want. It'll all be timestamped. Sometimes YouTube doesn't pick up the timestamps and put them in, like, the bar down below the video right away, but they're always going to be in the video description, even if YouTube doesn't, like, automatically fill them in to the action bar. But that's enough yapping for the YouTube folks. These raids are live at twitch.tv, as all the live viewers know. We're live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. EST, till however late I want to go that day, usually about 6 hours. So, let's hope for some good loot. If we get some good loot, we can, we'll be happy. Yeah, that's it. Right before this raid, we were actually doing something kind of interesting. We were attempting to solo Azurgos, the world boss from Phase 4. And the reason why we wanted to do that is because that world boss drops a bunch of, like, BOEs and a good amount of gold. So I thought, you know, okay, if it's, you know, reasonably easy to do this, if this is killable, like, that could just be a gold farm on each of my characters. Just go in and kill Azurgos solo, loot all of its gold and all of its BOEs. And what I found out is that is definitely possible. It's definitely possible. No problem killing it. However, 20 minutes into the fight, the boss was still at 60% health. So I thought it was going to take me about 45 to 50 minutes. I just vanished and walked away. And I will try to come back. We can tweak the build a little bit to make me do more DPS to probably kill it faster. And, you know, maybe we get it down to like 30-minute kill, 40-minute kill. If it's somewhere in that range, that's a little bit more bearable. But even at like 30 and 40 minutes, it's actually still quite a time investment. We'll see how much gold we get for it. We'll definitely kill it at least once for, you know, achievement's sake, to be able to say I've done it. But depending on how quickly that kill goes, it may not be a regular occurrence. Sack of gems too? Yeah, the arcane crystals in the sack of gem are pretty valuable. Thor says, I'm still waiting for you to report back how your deck does at your LGS. Yeah, well, I mean, I actually bought new Magic cards recently and still haven't been able to play with them. Because every weekend, it's like good weather during the week, and then on the weekend, it's like rain or blizzard. It's like, yesterday, it was raining, and today, it was literally blizzarding and snowing. It's like the weather around here just can't decide if it wants to be shit or not. And it's just been picking shit on the days that I could go to my local game store to play my favorite collectible card game, Magic the Gathering. The most exciting card I got recently was actually two of them. I got Insurrection, which is it's for a mono red dragon deck in Commander. I got Insurrection, which is an 8-mana sorcery. It says untap all creatures and gain control of them until end of turn. They gain haste until end of turn. Oh shit! Okay, I almost died to that. So I just was kind of thinking about that card. It's a pretty old card, but I was like, man, in the games that I've played so far, it feels like, I don't know, 80% of the time that you cast that, you would gain control of enough creatures to knock out one player, at least. And it's like, man, if I could cast an 8-mana sorcery that just deletes a player from the game, like, yeah, that seems pretty good. And the upside is, like, if I can summon, like, the double strike dragon alongside it, or the extra combat phase dragon alongside it, that probably knocks out 2 players then. So I'm excited to cast that spell. And then I got this really powerful artifact called Portal to Phyrexia. It's a 9-mana artifact, and when you play it, it makes every other player sacrifice 3 creatures. So, like, they just lose a bunch of creatures, so that's great. Like, you cast it, and then that's good. But it does even more. If it stays in play, then at the beginning of each of your turns, you get to pull a creature out of the graveyard, a dead creature, and bring it back to play on your side. And that just happens every turn that the artifact, the portal thing, remains in play. So, like, that's what I really like in my big, powerful cards, is, like, it has to do something immediately, and then it also has to continue doing good things if it stays in play. And if it's got those two, like, qualities, then it's, like, that's a nice thing to spend a lot of mana on. How much did you love your AQ run yesterday? Yesterday was quite possibly the worst Temple of Ahn'Qiraj run I've ever done. It was a complete misery. It was like, the thing that made it miserable was we had a lot of people in the group that were doing the wrong things and like holding back the group from success. Like we had a mage that didn't use frost abilities on Viscidus. And we had casters on Viscidus that weren't melee attacking during the freeze phase. And like, that's fine. Not everyone needs to know what to do all the time on every boss in every raid. But what made it very frustrating is I offered like advice to these people, like, hey, you got to be doing this thing to like, defeat this boss. We need you to do this, and they just wouldn't do it. Next attempt, the mage is still just casting Balefire bolts and fireballs, still not doing frost attacks. Caster's still just hanging out far away from Viscidus. And it was just a bunch of that over and over and over. And I ended up volunteering 5 sets of consumable world buffs to help drag that group through the raid. I did not sign up for dropping 5 sets of world buffs for that group, but it was very obviously a group that needed that to be able to be successful. We did end up killing Cthulhu in the end, but it was like a 3-hour raid, and I was not happy about losing 5 full sets of world buffs. In the end, it worked out, but it was a struggle. Bots just trying to get free gear to farm better. There were a lot of people doing less than 1,000 DPS. Which makes me think they're not trying very hard. But it is what it is. We did end up killing Cthulhu. Second try. Because obviously the first time we tried to kill Cthulhu, a shaman cast Shamanistic Rage 2 seconds after pulling the boss, ripping threat off of the tank and causing an eye laser to annihilate the entire raid, except for the shaman who cast the Shamanistic Rage, of course. Despite being told to not press any abilities while running into the boss. It was literally like on the staircase, the guy like did a Shamanistic Rage, and I saw it happen, and I was like, it's already over. 2 seconds later, the eye beam wiped out the entire raid. Yeah, that's just Temple of Encourage for you. Oh yeah, it started out with, the first toxic thing was like, we just popped a set of world buffs, and then our main tank got mind controlled, and a hunter in the group targeted the main tank and cast a single target damage ability called Kill Shot, which killed the main tank, which caused them to lose their world buffs. Oh my god. I asked the hunter, like, about that situation, and the hunter apparently knew what he was doing and said he deserved it. Or maybe didn't know what he was doing and was making up an excuse after the fact, but he did say that the tank deserved it when questioned about the kill shot usage. What's the most fun build to you? I think Backstab is the most fun for me, just because, frankly, it's fucking fun to see giant numbers on the screen. Alright, little free action potion. Slice up. Hang on, the comms aren't quite loud enough. I can't hear the raid leader. I gotta turn him up. Maybe it's my music is too loud. Yeah, the music is actually kind of loud right now. Let me turn that down a little bit. Alright, we turned him up a little bit. Oh, shit, vanish. Rip threat there. That's not what you want. Do not want to rip threat. That thing's dead. Poison knife that. Big armor debuff up. The poison knife waste rune is also really nice for trash mobs, because, like, you're certainly not casting a 5-point expose armor on these trash mobs, but you can absolutely, and very often, just, oh shit, I'm gonna die. No, I'm not gonna die. You can just send a poison knife and get them with the debuff. Yo, Zekmet says, big loots. I hope so. We're going for shoulder token, ring token, and Slayer's Crest. So our first, like, big loot item is off Patchwerk or Grobbulus, and then the rest of it is, like, you have to wait until the end of the raid. In that guild, but raid on Wednesday. Yeah. This group has this guild has another raid group that goes, like, Wednesday in the AM. Like, I don't know, like 4 hours before this raid would go. Just cleaved my face off there. Oh, shit, another one's coming. Hello? Okay, it's coming now. Big armor debuff. Big envenom. Stun to make it not cast that spell. And then we back away from these slimes. These slimes do AoE damage. Alright, slime's dead. Moving through. Sorry, Ober, did you want me in the front of the instance? I didn't hear who you called out. Roger that. We got this actually, like, set up kind of insanely nicely. They have a summon squad in the front of the instance and a summoner out here. So we're going to clear to Patchwerk and then, like, change the difficulty and then summon the people who are changing the difficulty right back to Patchwerk. This is going to be insane. I love it. Yeah, that's a lot of cleaves. I'm going to walk away slightly. What's the SRs today? Says Idiot Neck. Ring, shoulder, like tier ring, tier shoulder, and Slayer's Crest. And then we'll do, like, main spec rolls on helmet and chest token. And maybe those aren't reserved by other people. Maybe we get them, maybe we don't. Who knows? Pazagera PTR just updated. Yeah, that's for Season of Discovery. But we're in the middle of Naxxramas right now, so we're not doing that. Hard mode? This will be a hard mode level 3. We're just clearing the trash on level 0 right now. Boom. Big ambush. Lightning totem destroyed. Pick that ability. You moved too far. Oh yeah, I didn't see this guy. Living Monstrosity. That's our priority target. Lightning Totems down. Kill that next. Easy to take those out with just some big backstab. Tab target. Backstab. Easy peasy. Beard. Uh-oh. Feared towards Patchwerk. Okay. That was close. It wasn't me getting feared. There was one other guy going a little bit closer to Patchwerk, but it didn't pull. You've been unfortunate. Crimson Tempest up on a bunch of trash mobs. Let's focus Bile Retcher next. Crimson Tempest up again. Ambush up again. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Love it. That tank is pumping air damage? What do you mean air damage? He's doing a lot of damage. Oh, wait, this is damage taken. Here's damage done. I was on the wrong meter the whole time. Oh, I forgot to build combo points on Patch. Oh, no, I can't do that with this build. Unless I change helmet. You have the Primo shirt on any of you? I have it on all my rogues, but I find it kind of annoying. So I don't use it. You just start summoning all the people that are at the difficulty area in the start of the raid. Get this guy. World buff roll off. 33, 36. We didn't win it. That's just 5 people and the winning roll is a 36. You never use armor potion? Not as a damage dealer. Kind of a waste. Alright, grilled squid. Oh, whoops. I don't need to do that. The cauldron is down. I always forget about the cauldron. There we go. Double checking. Oh gosh, yep. Good thing we double checked. One of these runes is wrong. We need a dagger right there. The rest of that is good. Okay, we have Honey Badger, Strength, and this active. We need our Flask of Madness. We don't need to pop Stamina Consumes here. I think the only other thing we need to press is this grilled Scorpok. Not grilled Scorpok, ground Scorpok. Right before the boss starts. Thought it was Mutilate Rogue? No, this character is Backstab. Let's hit this. Go into stealth.
4, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Kel'Thuzad make Patchwerk his avatar of war.
God, he just needs to not be so close to the edge. Okay, whatever. We have a very small sliver of space here that I can attack without getting parries. From the way the tanks were positioned, I thought I was going to be on the other side and attacking, like the boss was just going to be in the slime. But then it moved a little farther forward, and now I have this small window here. The boss is already dead. I mean, these kills go so fast. Like, a couple seconds of, like, you not attacking in the opener, it's such a big deal. Spalders, pauldrons. None of the rogue pauldrons. Unlucky. We got another chance at them on the next boss, though. If you got the Cthulhu dagger, I don't have it on this character, but I also don't want it on this character. I already have better items. So yeah, I think that was just like a fuck up. I wasn't positioned very well at the start, so I had a slow start on the damage. So that's why the output wasn't very good. Do a refresh on Occult. And Sebaceous. Who's doing Skull Flame Shield? Wait, who has Skull Flame Shield? I don't see a Skull Flame. Oh, wait, this guy? Sungrasp? Maybe it's Bulwark of Ire? I think that is the same icon, or graphic, from Karazhan. Pick that one. We can see, I mean, it could be a Skull Flame Shield. Nope, it's Bulwark of Ire. Big stun. Alright. Are we ready for the boss? Yes. What do you think? Prediction. Will any rogue shoulders drop from Grob? Yes, no. 1 minute on the clock. Prediction is up. Here he is. We're almost there. What? That's a pulled 90. They said pull 10, and then they put up a 90 pull timer. Oops. There's an ambush proc. There we go. Okay. What I want to see. Vanish, ambush. That's probably the last Crimson Tempest I'll do. Oh, he's dead. Alright, that was better, for sure. Oh, what's the outcome on this prediction? 2 shoulder pads! Okay, rogue shoulders dropped! Let's go! 2 of them, in fact. Okay. Next boss, Gluth. We're gonna use lip to avoid one of the fears. We want to press the lip before the fear happens, and if it happens while lip is already active, we don't get feared. See if we can just refresh grilled squid here. Let's see. Prediction. Will any rogue...
4.
Never mind. We'll manage that in a moment. I think I have to sprint to catch up here. I was going to do a Thaddius prediction. Lip is up. There's the fear. We immuned it. Perfect. Everything's in position. Love it. Feared that time, though. Unlucky. Feared again. Ooh, he's moving this time. He's gonna eat some chows. This is a one where Shadow Step is really good. But since we're doing exposed armor, like we basically just have to run Poison Knife. Feared again. So after each of these fears, like I could Shadow Step right back to the boss and it'd be great. There we go. Any good loot here? Remnant of Valor, Wrist Guard, Sandal. Yeah, none of that's good. Alright. Let's see. Prediction. Star prediction. Will any rogue hats drop from Thaddius? Yes or no? Alright, 5 minutes on the clock. They're gonna divide us up.
Group 3 go left. Group 2 go right.
Okay, we're going to the right. That's all I needed to know. We should check the soft reserve page. Oh, it's still on hidden status, so I don't know how many people are on desecrated circlet. Mike Joe Man says, I believe. Yeah, but like, is it really a good thing if we have to unequip Bloodfang Hood? Bloodfang Hood looks so cool. Alright. Just use cool, who cares about DPS? That's why we didn't soft reserve the helmet. We only get the helmet, like, if no one else soft reserved it, or if there are more of them than the number of people that soft reserved. Yeah, this one's going faster than the other one. Alright, and we sprint, and we go, and it's Thaddius time. Make me want to play Sod again? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm having a lot of fun. I don't really care how many people are telling me that Sod is dead or complaining about me playing this. I mean, I'm having fun. So I'm going to keep doing it because it's fun for me. Here we go. Polarity, we're going to this side. Time for a little Blood Fury. Banish Ambush. Ambush Trigger, love that. Potential swap, no swap needed. Our polarity stayed the same. That time we need to swap. Swap again. I think I'm gonna not go for another bleed because he's about to die. Yeah, there we go. And prediction is already closed. What do we got? 2 circlet? 3 circlet? Yo, we have a good chance to get one of those with 3 circlets dropping? Let's see, what does it say for a number of people that reserved? No one? It has no flags of being reserved by anyone. I have diminution. Don't need that. Oh yeah, there's shoulder pads we have to roll on too from Grobbulus. They didn't roll those out yet, I think. Circlet. Main spec roll. 74, main spec. Let's go! Circlet. Secured. Boom. In the inventory. In the bag. Goodbye, Bloodfang Hood. Been nice knowing ya. Don't worry, we can now solo Bloodlord Mandacure in Zul'Gurub to get our Primal Hakari Idols to get the enchant for this helmet. Yep, that's a thing we're doing now. Desecrated Pauldrons. These are not the rogue ones. Oh shit, soft reserves unhidden. Let's see, Slayers. Slayers ended up with 4 reserves on it. What about Desecrated Ring? Has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so we're only about 50-50 on those. We could get lucky. I mean, 4 of them are going to drop out of 9 rolls. We just have to be, like, slightly above average to get the ring. Slayer's Crest seems like a bit of a long shot, though. Yeah. I wonder how much avoidance I have if I could tank this boss. All my avoidance calculations are usually about solo place, where I don't have this, and I don't have that, and I don't have Grace of Air Totem. So I don't know actually how much more I get in this circumstance. Wait, they didn't roll out the shoulders. I hope I didn't miss them earlier. I assume they just got their focus on doing the boss and moving forward. Let's see, grilled squid. All right, they're prepping the priest to make sure they know what's going on. Here we're going on Razuvious pretty soon. Yep, they just refreshed a Mind Soothe. They're going in.
Do as I taught you.
Boss is taunted. Pretty good damage so far. Uh-oh, 3 people dead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, a bunch of people are dead. Alright, we did it. Iblis, Sabaton, Boot. Alright. Poison knife. We're not going into melee on these. Aldrin's going out for off-spec. Looks like they're rotting. Uh-oh, Sungrasp is dead. Oh, we're losing people. Shoulder pads. Here's the shoulder pads from Grobbulus. That was our reserve. Let's go over trade. Boink. Boink. Got it. Okay, now there's no more pending loot that we actually care about right now. So it's a great time to take a quick bathroom break. Which I should have done before the raid started, but, you know... Look, I'm not perfect, okay? Idiot Neck asking, what consumes do you bring to raid? I will answer that in just a second when I get back from this bathroom break. Okay. Are you ready? Ready. There we go. This hallway of trash, we don't really do anything on it anyways. Basically, all of these mobs have really nasty AoE abilities that kind of screw over melee damage dealers. So I would just sit back and, like, poison knife them and, you know, that's a great part during the raid. Like, if you have to pick some part of the raid to take a bathroom break, it's like Kel'Thuzad Phase 1 and, you know, the post-Razuvious trash are some great opportunities. It's your drink of choice. Moonshine. Out of a mason jar. Idiot Neck asking about consumables. Honey Badger, 30 agility, 2% crit chance. It's a little bit, it's like the upgraded version of Mongoose. If this is too expensive, you could just go Mongoose and it's just 5 less agility. Elixir of Giants, 25 strength. There's a better version of this called Juju Power that gives you 30 strength, so that's a little bit better. It's just kind of obnoxious to get. Winterfall Firewater, 35 attack power. There's a better version of this called Juju Might. Gives 40 attack power, also just kind of annoying to get, so I don't bother. Then we got stamina buffs with Rumsy Rum Black Label and Elixir of Fortitude. Draft of the Sands. This is an important one. This is a very high impact consumable. It comes from a quest in Silithus to unlock the vendor that sells it to you, and then it costs like 45 silver each. Draft of the Sands is 2% increased damage and 2% increased critical damage while in Naxxramas or Encourage. It's very, very good. And then we just have a bunch of different protection potions, mostly. World buff roll off. Yeah, sorry, which of those are for Severance and which are for world buffs? No one wants Severance. That makes sense. They rolled out for a world buff roll-off and also for Severance at the same time, so there was a little bit of confusion. See, one guy was asking for the world buff roll-off, and then, like, immediately after, the other guy was asking for the Severance roll. We didn't win the world buff roll-off. If we win one of those world buff roll-offs, what happens is, we spend our 7 world buff consumable items, which are, like, pretty valuable. That's, like, I don't know, 80 to 100 gold or something for 7 of them. But then we get to pick one of our soft reserves, and we get an extra roll on that. Alright, so they're splitting Gothik just like they split Thaddius, so everyone on the right-hand side for Thaddius is going to the undead side for Gothik. Drought of the Sands only rogue. Yeah, it's rogue, and there's like a different one called like Draft of the Desert or something for hunters. There's a hunter version and there's a rogue version, and then no other classes get that. Oh yeah, I need to, since they dropped a fresh set, I'm going to cancel my old Firewater, get the new one. Most buffs you don't have to cancel before you pick them up again, but with the Firewater Cauldron, for some reason you do. Like, it won't let you get a new one if you have, even like 2 seconds left on your old buff. Alright, what's going on? They're trying to, I think they're trying to negotiate a repair bot right now. There we go, there's a repair bot. Somewhere. Alright, Gothik time. So this build is actually crazy. This is like the best build for Gothik. And even though we're the exposed armor person, I am going to go Shadow Step for this, because Shadow Step is also insanely good for this section. This boss in particular. And we'll go back to Poison Knife later. So, right, basically, if the raid wipes and we have to do more world buffs, then I get another chance to roll for world buffs, and we want to win one of these rolls before we get to the end of the raid, because we have 2 reserves right at the end of the raid. Slayer's Crest off of Sapphiron and Desecrated Ring off of Kel'Thuzad. I don't know which one I should go. Probably, if I win a world buff roll, probably I go for an extra roll on Slayer's Crest. I think that's going to be the most impactful. Yeah, I might need to refresh these poisons. Fight takes a while. Okay. So the last Naxxramas raid I did, we actually had a really interesting strategy for this boss. We had a hunter put their pet, like before the gate closed, we had a hunter park their pet on this side of the fence. And then they went back, their character went back to the main side. And then they put a warrior in the group with the hunter. And the warrior's job was to just spam Battle Shout. And it would buff the hunter and buff the pet. And what would happen is, whenever a spirit mob comes over here, it like initially targets the pet because the pet is the only unit there. We actually had all the players on the live side. So there would be no players over here. It would target the pet, and then the warrior would Battle Shout, and then the Battle Shout would draw threat, and the spirit mob would just walk straight through the gate, and we would fight it on the live side of the encounter. And that worked really nice because we didn't have to split the raid up in 2. So, like, there's no, like, lack of, like, buffs or healing coverage or anything like that. We were all together. And also, as soon as Gothik teleported down, we had the full strength of the raid fighting Gothik.
Please, before it's too late.
Do with a shaman totem? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the shaman totem works because the shaman totem doesn't get battle shouted, as far as I know. I'm not sure. Maybe that works. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Ori and Blind Forest music? Yeah, that's what we're listening to right now. While we're just cruising through this Gothic trash. 9,000 damage backstab. 12,000 damage backstab after the sebaceous poison went up. $20,000 damage ambush. Love it. Build's the best. Stygian Buckler. So there's nothing that drops off of this boss that we really care about, but Desecrated Robe drops off the next boss, and we care about that. Would love to get a Desecrated Robe. If we get Desecrated Robe, then I think we'd actually be full bis Backstab. Because it would allow us to run Boot and Bracer for our Bloodfang instead of Helm and Chest, and the Boot Bracer is like the better combination, the one you want to be using. More ideal stat distribution. Stun this Death Knight. Stupid horse. Actually, the way we have this Gothic setup, Shadow Step isn't that useful, because we're all actually just kind of hanging out in the same spot and letting the mobs come to us. Shadow Step's way more useful when you're, like, running around the room chasing the spawns, but we're not doing that with this strategy, so in hindsight, I should have kept it on Poison Knife. Absolutely blasted. Alright, Gothik is over there. They'll DPS him down and he'll teleport to, like, right here. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh my god, he teleported already. Ambush for 30,000 damage, no big deal. Oh, I didn't put Renataki's on my action bar. I haven't been using it. That's kind of awkward. Boots of Displacement. We need those. Do I have those? I have them on one character, and I can't remember which one. And I did not mark them on my chart. Oh, off-spec roll them or something.
Come, Zeliek. Do not drive them out. Not before we've had our fun.
Enough battling. Let them come. I shall grind their bones.
Boot and wrist. So boot is for sure you want to be using. And then you can go either leg or bracer. And they're basically identical. As the best pieces of Bloodfang to use.
I've heard about enough of your sniveling. Check your fly trap before I shut it for you.
Conserve your anger. Hearts are raised. You will all have had the frustrations.
Shit, we had a death here. There's a lot of ghouls. This is 2 packs of ghouls, I guess. Alright, someone else is rolling on those boots. I don't really care about those boots, and I don't know if I might already have them, so I'm not gonna roll on them. Let the other person have them. Coreforged back to Draconic again? Yes. Originally, you could not do that when, like, phase, you know, Blackwing Lair phase came out. It was like a one-way change. It's like, you get it Draconic originally, and then if you change it to Coreforged, it's just stuck as Coreforged. But they changed that, and now you can switch back and forth. If you have a Coreforged, like, leg, you can change it into a Draconic leg. If you have a Draconic leg, you can change it back into a Coreforged leg. I don't think my add-on correctly automated the military wing function. So when you do the hard modes, you activate crystals, and each crystal is associated with one wing of the instance. And the hard mode, it like increases the health and damage of all the enemies, regardless which wing they're in, based on like the level of hard mode, right? So level 3, regardless which crystals are activated, everything gets a big health and damage boost. But then when you're in each individual wing, there's a special mechanic if that wing's crystal is activated. And we have the, you know, military wing crystal activated, so we experience the military wing mechanic, which is kind of a strange mechanic. It will just periodically pick random players in the raid and require them to do a certain emote. And if they do the emote within the time limit, they get a buff, and if they don't do the emote within the time limit, they get a debuff. That's basically it, and it's kind of weird, and you can have add-ons just automate that function. That'll just always just like see what emote you're supposed to do and just automatically do it, which is, you know, admittedly a bit lame, but it's like, whatever, I'm not gonna expend my mental energy on that. But then every once in a while, the add-on like screws up and doesn't do it right. You just don't have to think about it most of the time, except for some of the time. Alright, let's get a prediction up for if any of the robes will drop. Start prediction, will any rogue robes drop from 4 horsemen? Okay, prediction's up, 5 minutes on the prediction. We want desecrated robe. Is the item we want to see off of this boss. Potentially multiple. What classes are tanking here? I'm not sure. I know we have a warrior tank, and I'm not sure what else. I just stab guys, okay? Oh gosh, I didn't go back to poison knife. I should have. Yeah, the debuff finally went up. Where's he going? Okay, good. We're walking all the way to this boss. We're going to spend sprint when we go to Blamu, because it's a much longer distance. We get more value from the sprint. Where is this boss facing? Okay, I'm attacking from behind. Good. The shield wall up from Mograine. Ooh. Crimson Tempest got dodged, or whatever. Sprinting. The fourth
Who's
mark.
next?
It's dead. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Now we just chill. Zeliek at like 25%. Okay. You AFK or fight Zeliek? We're just gonna chill. Okay, we're gonna chill right here where everything is safe and comfortable. And not worry about it. We currently have 69% doubters that even a single rogue robe will drop. I feel like it's likely to get at least one. And there's more doubters than believers right now. Alright, we gotta close up the prediction though.
Fools! You think yourselves triumphant? You have only taken one step closer to the abyss.
Alright, let's see what the loot is. What's the loot? What's the loot? Robe? Robe was reserved by 2 different people, so we don't get to roll on that anyways, but it did drop. Leggings of the Apocalypse, Desecrated Tunic. The Apocalypse legs, I believe we have all... Do we have those on this guy? Gosh, I need to keep better track. It would be good for a Mutilate build, so we'll off-spec roll the Apocalypse leggings. Alright, we didn't win. That's fine. Alright, so we're gonna flip the difficulty modes around, because we're gonna go do Spider and Plague Wing, and we just want to disable Spider mechanic. So we're still on difficulty 3, but we won't have to deal with the Spider mechanic. Show the talents for this build. Yeah. 30 points in Assassination, 8 points Combat, 13 points Subtlety. You get Improved Ambush and you get Opportunity over here. Big talents for Backstab build. Improved Backstab over there. People always ask this, why do you have Improved Sinister Strike? People ask that about every single build. You have a lot of abilities that benefit from any effect on Sinister Strike. So, like, if you look at your Poison Knife, it says, benefits from all talents and effects that trigger from or modify Sinister Strike. Sometimes we want to use Poisoned Knife. So it's very good to have that talent baked in. And, like, there's no DPS talent to take instead of it anyways. So, like, obviously you take Improved Sinister Strike. Alright, so here we would roll off spec on the gloves that drop from Maexxna. We would be happy to pick up a tank pair of gloves on this character. And I don't think there's any other loot in the spider wing that we care about. Yeah, so if you've got improved Sinister Strike, reducing the energy cost of Sinister Strike by 5, then the base cost of your Poison Knife ability is only 20, because it's reduced. And the Poison Knife can generate 25 energy. So if you've got the talent, and you've got 5 stacks of poison on the target, you press Poison Knife, it costs you 20, but it gives you 25, so you profit 5 energy, which is really good. Really, really good. And if you didn't have the talent, it would just be like net 0 energy, which is way less good than 5 free energy. All right, so we didn't reserve the robe, and other people did, so they get it and we don't. That's how it works. All right, here we go. Boss time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Move over here. Nope, didn't move quickly enough. If you move really quick, you can just avoid those impales as they go out. Right. Pretty good. We are now immobilized. What do you lose by going into elusiveness? Nothing. Ranks in camouflage. Not relevant talents. Crypt Fiend Silk Cloak. Alright, we'll off-spec roll that. Yeah, like, both of these are, like, convenience talents. Different situations would make them good or bad. You use a script. Oh, that was the. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the robe prediction. Choose outcome. Will any rogue robes drop from 4 horsemen? Yes. We got skitters behind and the big pack in front. Worth using Gnomer Pot or not? I don't use it. I think it's dumb. I think it's a small increase, and it usually gets people killed. And when you do something like that, that's like a really small increase, and then you get yourself killed because you're being stupid, you're griefing your entire team. And people should rightfully be mad at you for getting yourself killed for something stupid like that. Guild's going to loot ban people that start using it because they die on bosses? Yeah, that's smart. Your guild should do that. I agree with that policy. There's a Gnomergon potion called, or potion that comes from Gnomergon called Mildly Irradiated Rejuvenation Potion. And when you press it, you get a 20-second buff that gives you like 40 attack power and 35 spell power. It also reduces your movement speed by 20% and doubles all damage taken from physical, nature, and fire, I believe, are the 3 types of damage. It doubles your damage taken, so you just get killed by just any random damage that goes your way, you just die. Shadow, nature, physical? Okay, whatever. But yeah, it's a minor benefit, and it, like, can super grief by getting you killed, and then you're dead, and then you don't provide any damage to the raid. Yeah, so one of the guilds I played with had that policy also, where they would loot ban you if you ever died with mildly irradiated potion active. Because they had a problem of, like, these just, like, brain-damaged players popping these potions all the time in situations where it definitely wasn't safe to do them, and then just dying on pull, basically. And it was griefing the entire team for their, like, 0.5% theoretical damage increase. And then they didn't even get a 0.5% theoretical damage increase because they died. It's such a, like, brain dent type of damage increase option. That being said, I make a shitload of gold off of selling mildly irradiated rejuvenation potions to, I mean, I don't really know or care who buys them, but a lot of people buy them. Nah, the brain dent is too strong with the Warcraft log Andes. You know, no matter what I say, they're gonna keep buying mildly irradiated potions, keep using them, and keep dying with them. Because, I don't know, some simulator said it adds 0.5% to their damage output, or, I don't know, the rank 1 log that they looked at the other day used that potion, so they assume they should use it too. Yeah, it doesn't matter what I say, people are gonna keep buying them. Oh shit, 2 people dead. It's almost like there's gonna have to be another world buff roll off. That's what the raid leader was saying. Alright, let's see. What do we need for buff refreshes? Probably just grilled squid here. Alright, this is our chance to get, when they do the world buff roll, that's our chance to get another chance at Slayer's Crest. 86, that's good. That's strong. That's potentially winning. Any other rolls?
Okay, it looks like it's Simon.
All right, am I good to pop them now?
Yep, pop him.
And I'll put the cauldron off to the side here.
Thank you. This is a ready check for pool. We're just gonna zug the boss.
Extra roll on Slayer's Crest, please. I messaged you my extra reserve.
Yep, thank you. Dude, I thought you got that already.
Not on this one.
Okay, here we go.
4, 3,
All right,
2.
here we go.
Kneel before me, worm.
What the? I'm silenced. I can't activate Renataki's Charm of Trickery while silenced. I was trying to go for that button to hit an extra ambush. But it's one of the couple of trinkets that you can't use while silenced. So, we won the world buff roll. We spent our world buff consumables to buff up the entire raid, and that earned us a extra roll on Slayer's Crest. So, if Slayer's Crest drops from Sapphiron, we will get to roll on it 2 times. We basically doubled our chances at getting Slayer's Crest. Widow's Remorse, like some tanking stats on it. This is like, doesn't even actually work out to be a very good tanking sword for Rogue. But that's like what it's supposed to be, right? Well, I don't know if it's supposed to be for Rogue, but Rogue tanks don't typically use that. Or it's not what they want to be using. Might be the best thing they have. Should encourage more people to use mild irradiated pots so you get more chances to roll to pop world buffs. No, but I can't win more than one roll, and I already won a roll. I can't get another additional reserve. You're not allowed that's not allowed in the system. So I'm already locked in and good, okay? Now we actually need to prevent additional world buff rolls. Now, there's a cheeky thing you could do. If there needs to be more world buffs. Okay, I don't know if this is really allowed or not, but it has happened in my other raids where this similar system exists. Basically, one person wins the world buff roll, and they get an extra roll on the thing they want. And then they don't want anyone else to get extra rolls. So they just volunteer extra sets of world buffs every time. They just pop them, like, before the roll-off even happens. And it's like, okay, well, I guess the raid is buffed, and we don't have to award an extra soft reserve to get these buffs out now. So that's an angle we could take. An expensive one, though? Yeah. I think the items I want, there's already a lot of reserves on them. So preventing them from being a potential additional single reserve on them is not really going to have a big impact on my overall chance to get them. So I don't think I'm going to go for that strategy. It teleported away. It charged away. It's not a teleport. I was trying to backstab it more, and it didn't want to do it. $34,000 damage ambush, no big deal. Was there a ban wave on Sod seeing less bots? I have no idea. Blizzard really doesn't communicate much about their bot stuff anymore. They used to give us like a monthly update. This was like over a year ago. They were giving monthly updates on how many like fraudulent accounts they had taken action against, and then they just like stopped doing that for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I guess they just thought, it was negative PR to do that, or I don't know what they thought, but they stopped doing it. So yeah, I have no idea when they do ban waves or whatever. Oh shit, this is my character with Fetish of the Sand Reaver. Oh, perfect. We get to use Fetish of the Sand Reaver on this boss. Let's go. Okay, so we're gonna vanish one of the web sprays. And then we're going to fetish the other web spray. Alright, let's grab a little bit of extra stamina consumables. We need to use Mark of the Dawn. What else are we missing? Anything else? No, I think we're good. Yeah, okay, I think that's all good. Yeah, if we were subtlety, we could have preparation for double vanish. But think of this trinket as being like casting 8 more backstabs in the fight. It's crazy good. It's super duper worth it. Yeah, I have to have undead trinket on. That's on purpose, even though this target isn't undead.
5,
Because I need
4,
my 8-piece
3,
sanctified.
2, 1.
The thruple. Whoa, he's moving. Need to be at max melee range.
5,
Web spray in
4,
5.
3, 2, 1.
Good. We did it. That was a little bit scuffed. Positioning was really off at the start due to the threat pull, and then I had to like reposition as the boss moved around a lot. Thistle tea usage.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back up. We have nothing left to clear the next web spray, unfortunately. Hopefully we just kill it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Nice. Alright, any gloves? Handguard. 4x handguard. No glove drop.
Proceed, and I will banish your souls to oblivion.
Alright, with the Fetish of the Sand Reaver, sometimes you have some trouble using it if you just, like, bind the trinket. Because, like, it, like, breaks immediately and then doesn't help you. So, it's good to use it with a macro like this, where it's /clear target, /stop attack, and then /use Fetish of the Sand Reaver. Just like that. Whoopsies. There we go. Okay, but we don't need that anymore. Nothing else to do with that. Back to Renataki's Charm. Favorite boss of Naxxramas? My old favorite was always Loatheb, because I would make a different gear set specifically for Loatheb. Because gaining a crapload of critical strike chance, like, changed some of your stat priorities. And that was interesting to me. I liked that. But I haven't really done that in Season of Discovery. I'd imagine I could still make something slightly different if I assumed, like, Loatheb buff was up, like, 75% of the fight. But I like fights where, you know, there's some creative way to gear differently. So, like, one of my other favorite fights is Veilastraz in Blackwing Lair, where, like, none of your energy bonuses matter. You just, like, mash backstab. Like, I'm going to be hyped to do Blackwing Lair, Veilastraz in Hardcore. We're doing that in the Hardcore group on Saturday this week, actually. And you better believe I'm going to be fucking backstabbing Veilastraz. And it's going to be great. So, wait, hold on. I'm rambling too much. Favorite boss in Naxxramas? I don't know. I think if Patchwerk had, like, twice as much health, I would like that boss a lot more. Feels like Patchwerk just is over instantly, so fast. Thaddius, yeah, Thaddius is fun. There's some tricks you can do on him, and you pump big numbers just because of how the fight works. Yeah, I'd say Thaddius is a good pick. Yeah, Blackwing Lair is coming out on the Anniversary Realms. So that's both the Hardcore Anniversary Realms and the Softcore Anniversary Realms. I think it's actually out today. But OnlyFangs Guild isn't gonna run their first one until Saturday. The Rogue Bindings went out. We already have tank and DPS version, so we don't even need them for off-spec. So we have 2 items we reserved still. The Ring off Kel'Thuzad and Slayer's Crest from Sapphiron. After we do Plague Wing, so it's going to be Noth, then Heigan, then Loatheb. That's Plague Wing. That's the last wing. Then we go to the final 2 bosses, Sapphiron, Kel'Thuzad. So we're almost at those ultimate bosses that drop the loot we super duper care about. And we've got roughly a 50-50 to get the ring. I checked, there were 9 reserves on it. I'm one of the reserves, and 4 rings will drop. Slayer's Crest is much more of a long shot. It's not even guaranteed to drop, and there's like 4 or 5 reserves on it already. But we do get 2 rolls on Slayers. Let me double check how many are on Slayer's Crest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rolls on Slayer's Crest. 6. 6 rolls, and I am 2 of them. Is this the last rogue that's missing ring? All 3 of the rogues have the DPS ring. One of them has the tank ring, and I'm trying to get the tank ring on this one in this run. Whoa. Having threat issues, it seems like. Man, love seeing 33,000 damage ambushes. That's just really fun. Dude, my Crimson Tempest is ticking for 1,400 damage on these guys. That's crazy. 1,500 now? Must have had, like, more Crusader procs active when I put that one up. That's so much damage. What do we have? Belt, Waist Guard, Remnant of Valor, Belt, Band of the Inevitable, some totem thing. This character, I believe, has both the belts. Yep, both the belts already, so we don't care about those. We'll rebuff our food buff before we run into Heigan. So the tech that I have heard about for Heigan is if you use a limited invulnerability potion about 6 or 7 seconds after the encounter starts, the potion will be active at the time that he does his first random teleport ability. And if he so happens to choose you with that random teleport, you will have Lip active and you will be immune to it. You can have the entire raid do that and then no one gets teleported. I don't think that's going to happen here, but I'm going to press it, 6 or 7 seconds in, or try to remember to do that. So that hopefully I don't get teleported, at least not with the first teleport. How does one know if it did or didn't work? I mean, I guess you only know for sure if everyone in the raid does it. Because otherwise you don't really know who got chose by the teleport ability. What's going on? Yeah, you don't get the portal in Saf's room until after Saf is dead.
Take my Bezos bucks.
Nico, thank you. Thank you, Nico Belikov. Thanks for the Prime. Thanks for 7 months of support. Says, take my Bezos bucks. Happily. Thank you for the continued support of the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So far, this raid's going pretty well, I would say. Lagging behind a little bit. VNZ LOL says that won't stop Heigan from teleporting you on the second cast. That's correct. I mean, the lip is only potentially making you immune to a single instance of teleport, because lip has a long cooldown. but that's still good. Like, you don't have a damage dealing option with your potion usage. Most classes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lip. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I think it's super cringe. It's good, but I don't like it. Just on a vibes level. I don't like the groups that just, like, put Heigan in the corner of the platform and then just stand still and don't do the dance movement at all. I think it's kind of cringe. It's obviously a good strategy, and, like, if you're trying to min-max the, like, kill time of the boss, obviously you do that, but I find this way more interesting. There we go. Alright, loot sucks. Moving to Loatheb. What's the SRs today? Asked Cammy. Shoulder token, which we already got. Slayer's Crest. We have 2 rolls on Slayer's Crest. And 1 roll on Desecrated Ring from Kel'Thuzad. See, this guy got teleported into this hallway by Heigan. And then he died. Alright, spore assignments.
Group 3, then Group 2, then free for all.
We're gonna have to go Shadow Step because I burned
In fact,
Sprint before.
Just Group 3 and then whatever. I don't care.
Six minutes on increased agility. We get Shadow Protection Potion. Oh, wait, we lost one of our warriors. We lost Rage Fury. I think they had to... Oh, they must have been... Someone said they had to leave earlier, and I didn't know who it was. Rage Fury was one of our tanks.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Spore 1 is up. Spore 1 is dead. Next spore in 3 seconds. Spore 2 is up. Damn, we missed it. Oh well. Well, that was miserable, and we lost a lot of uptime trying to get the spore. Alright, there's no way we do good damage on this fight, because we lost so much time on the boss. Chasing spores. We got 1 spore, we're not going to get a second one. Definitely not. Yo, shoot, Ampy coming in. Hello. Ampy, thank you for the raid. I heard we are going to be raiding together on Saturday in Hardcore Blackwing Lair. Super excited for that. I hope you are too. That should be great. We're on Season of Discovery right now. There's no Naxxramas in Hardcore, at least not right now. Doing what I do best. Just rogue stuff. Although we did get, like... We're not doing that good on Loatheb. We ran to the spore, and we were like 1 second too late, and someone else killed it, and then I didn't get the spore, and then we went for the second spore, and then we got that spore, but we basically spent a long time dicking around, going back and forth, not damaging the boss, attempting to get a spore buff was the problem. Oh well. Oh shoot, Jasminite says, hello Simon, Ampy's internet crashed, so I sent the raid to you. Oh, well, Jasminite, I assume you're one of Ampy's mods. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's too bad about Ampy. I get so frustrated when there's like an internet problem in the middle of me streaming, because it's like, you know, like it's awful. Like I can't do anything about it in the moment, and it just screws up the whole the whole broadcast. Like even if you get back 15 minutes later, it's basically over.
You have seen nothing.
So that sucks. Sorry that happened to Ampy.
Awaits you.
All right, we're on to the final two bosses. So, off-spec roll for Loatheb's Reflection. Never mind, there's some main spec rolls for it. Okay. We need to throw up a stream prediction here. Start prediction, will Slayer's Crest drop from Sapphiron? That's an item we really want. We really, really want Slayer's Crest, okay? And we get 2 rolls on it out of 6 total. So if it drops, we're about 1 in 3 to win it if it does drop. But the prediction's just if it drops. Sometimes I do like if I win predictions. Those are also good too. Oraim says Blackwing Lair hype. Yeah, it's Saturday. Oraim, come back Saturday if you're on that Blackwing Lair hype train. Okay. I'm going to press Backstab just like I did in Molten Core, except it's going to be against dragons instead of elementals. And the Backstabs are still going to hit for 1500 critical strikes because I'm still using Heartseeker and don't have any raid weapons. Hardcore Blackwing Lair on Saturday, that's correct. The only things I have to do before then, I have to get tribute buffs and I have to get Blackwing Lair attunement. Which is totally achievable. I've got all my other consumables all totally ready to go. Poisons, yeah, let's refresh the poisons. We got Occult Poison in the main hand, Sebaceous. Am I in the main roster? Yes, that's my understanding, is that I'm in the Saturday roster. Let me check the OnlyFangs Discord. They did the draft today. Draft is public. Let me just double check that now that the draft is over. Soda Poppin', Blackwing Lair MC Oni Saturday. Savix Sunday. Yeah, we're in the Saturday group with Quinn, Dendy, and D. Kane. We got Hydra, Yummy, Cillian, Annie Fuchsia on their Priest, Nim. We have a strong group. Peekaboo, Sun Glitters, the best potato in the entire guild. Ampy, Zaryu, Jordy Porty, Mary Maybe, Christopher Yee, aka Hubert. Simply's back up to 60. He's been 60 for a while, actually. He did die, unfortunately, shortly after the Ampy 20-man raid, which he participated in. He died doing helping someone with Onyxia attunement. I think is what happened to him. Yeah, Oraim, it's okay. I mean, there are always a bunch of OnlyFangs raids, so I have to check and make sure for myself too. All right, they're sorting out the rest of the loot before they proceed with Sapphiron, I think. Got globaled because of Amplify from Blue Dragon. That's what it was, yeah. Ring of Spiritual Fervor going out. I'm pretty stoked. We got 2 good items so far. We got the Circlet. So we'll turn the Circlet. That goes into the Tier 3 helmet. And then we'll run Bloodfang Boot instead. And that's just better stat distribution. Like, we keep all the same set bonuses. But we do a little bit better on the, like, raw stats. And then the shoulders are going to turn into tanking shoulders. And then we're going to put Fortitude of the Scourge on them. And they're going to really help our tank set and our, like, avoidance set for doing ridiculous challenge solo type of things. What else do we have soft reserve? We have 2 rolls on Slayer's Crest if it comes up. And we have 1 roll on Desecrated Ring from Kel'Thuzad. And Desecrated Ring will always drop 4 times. But we're only 1 out of 9 rolls, so we're about 50-50 on the ring. And we're 1 in 3 on Slayer's Crest if it drops. Here we go. Sapphiron time. What? Where the boss at? Okay. That was a little awkward with the delayed spawning of the boss. Gonna go into the air soon. There it is. Okay, we can continue hitting it during this phase. We can't auto attack, but we can use abilities. So we absolutely will greed extra damage right now. Not even that big of a greed play. You just need to look for the ice blocks and know where we're gonna go when the breath starts casting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This one looks like he had jumped up in the air before the ice block hit him. And that can sometimes cause line of sight issues. So I was about to hide behind him there. And then I saw that the ice block was off the ground. And I was like, fuck that. I'm going to this other one. Ain't about to die right here. Seen you parry this boss a ton? That's a mistake on my part. There's kind of a narrow wedge of, like, range where I'm not in front of the boss, but also not behind the boss to get tail swiped. Where I'm, like, only slightly behind the boss. And sometimes, like, the boss is just spinning or something, or I'm not paying perfect attention to where I am. I shouldn't be getting parries if I'm doing everything right. Alright, closing the prediction. What do we got? Fortitude, Shroud, Fist, Remnant. What got looted out of that spot? I don't think it dropped. Shroud of Dominion. Resilience, Fist. Here's everything. Cloak, Gauntlets, Remnants, Shroud of Dominion, Fist of the Unrelenting. No Slayer's Crest drop right here. Alright, unlucky. Choose outcome, no Slayer's Crest from Sapphiron.
What is this?
We can, like, off-spec roll the Shroud of Dominion as, like, a... It's not, you know, ideal for a backstab build, but it would be good for other builds. Alright, what's going on here? We running? We running? We running? Going... Are we going in? We're going right in. Okay.
Servants, soldiers of the
Eat the food buff. / prediction. Gosh, we might actually make it in time for the Temple of Ahn'Qiraj right after this. Let's say, will Simon win a desecrated ring from KT? Question mark. Okay, predictions up. Now it's up. Now it's up. So 4 rings will always drop. There are nine rolls on them, and I'm one of the rolls. So it's about a 50-50, just a little worse than a 50-50. Power of the Scourge going out. Fortitude of the Scourge. We don't need another one of those. Wait, someone just dropped fresh world buffs? Okay. Fists of the Unrelenting. 3% increased attack speed on these plate gloves. It seems like kind of crazy. It's a huge attack speed number. You doing the rogue tanking, half dogga? No, I don't do a lot of wait, Shroud of Dominion, off-spec roll. Hit a 76 off-spec roll. I don't think we're winning that. Exhaust and... Wait, did they say there were 1 or 2 of them? I don't know, whatever, who cares? Yeah, I don't really do a lot of raid tanking. I find it boring. I find raid tanking mostly being, like, making up for other people's bad play. It's like a damage dealer that can't read a threat meter, pulls threat on this or that, you have to chase it across the room. You know, damage dealers that can't even wait 1 second before attacking a mob, so you're basically compelled to use, you know, expensive consumables on every pull to be able to hold threat. Stuff like that. And I feel like, you know, most of tank gameplay is just like catching up and making up for other people's bad play, so it doesn't feel very interesting to me. That being said, I gather a bunch of tank gear because it's really good for soloing stuff. They've given rogues percentage-based lifesteal, as well as enough items in the game that you can get avoidance capped, which means bosses can't hit you with physical attacks, and then you have your lifesteal so you can out-heal any magical damage they do. We have killed Razuvious in Naxxramas solo. We have killed Gar in Molten Core. The binding didn't drop. We can kill Bloodlord Mandakir in Zul'Gurub, Tiger Boss in Zul'Gurub. We can kill Spider Boss in Karazhan. There's a lot of ridiculous stuff we can kill. We attempted to kill Azurgos just before this raid, but that boss has 4.5 million health for some reason, and it was going to take us about 45 or 50 minutes. And I just gave up halfway through because I was bored. Yeah, the boss didn't kill me. It was very obvious that we could finish it. But I was not interested enough to do that. Yes, those are all solo boss kills. Okay, who's dying to the Void Zone? No one. That's impressive. Usually people die to the Void Zone, like, all the time. Man, there has to be clips of this somewhere. I would love to see a clip of a hardcore character dying to Void Zone on this boss. That would be so funny to me. It's your own damn fault, you know? You'll be over here now. Oop, too slow with that kick. Someone else got it first. Okay, never mind. Got confused for a second because my button didn't do what I thought it was going to do. So yeah, basically I collect tank gear not to tank raids, but to solo raid bosses. Also to tank dungeons, because it's basically, it's pretty hard to get a dungeon spot if you're not a tank. Like, as a damage dealer, you know, you're just dime a dozen. Like, DPS spots get filled super fast. Honestly, tanks are in such high demand in dungeons. There's... So there's I need a little more context to this before I delve into this story. There's a mechanic in Naxxramas called sanctified items. A bunch of my items just say that they're sanctified, right? And then there's another thing that says you get 20% increased damage dealt per sanctified item you have equipped. So there was a point where, you know, before Naxxramas came out and you were just getting sanctified items to prepare for Naxxramas, there's a very limited availability of sanctified items. And, you know, to get 8 items sanctified, it's up to a maximum of 8. You would have to equip some rogue, some like caster items, basically. And I joined a Karazhan group, and at the start of the group, I was like, listen, I need to roll on this caster item as a sanctified thing. If that's a problem, that's okay. I'll join a different group. Don't worry about it. Just want to make sure. And the warlock in the group is like, fuck that. There's no way I'm losing my BIS item to a fucking rogue. And I was like, cool. That's why I asked. I'll go ahead and leave. The group leader messages me and is like, no, stay. I'll just kick the warlock. That is tank prio, okay? That's what you get for being a tank in a dungeon group. Hungering Cold. I would really like this as an off-spec item. I rolled too low. Unlucky. Four rings. Here's the rings. Ready, set, roll a 75. Am I in the top 4? 86, 88, 75, 80, 19. I think I'm the 4th highest. I don't know if all of these rolls were soft reserves, but I think I got it. Oh, there's a 76? Wait, no, I might be the 5th. Oh, gosh. Which one of these people are actually reserved? They reserved 86 PDF. That's a reserve also. Necromo, also a reserve, 76. Principal, no, we lost it. No, all these people did reserve and happened to beat my 75. We got boned. Dang it. We were so close. Simon didn't get a ring because I lost a roll. Dang it. Will Simon win a desecrated ring from KT? Unfortunately, the answer is no. We did get some loot. We didn't get, like, all the stuff we wanted. Desecrated gauntlets. I don't think there's anything else we care about. We should see if that Temple of Encourage group still has room. We should go to Undercity because we have some tier tokens to turn in. We'll park this character there. Then we'll jump on a different character to do possible Temple of Encourage real quick.